What's going on, Evan Nation? Jon Impemba here with James Grande. Welcome back into the Quick Pitch MLB DFS podcast and live stream here, recording for Thursday's 5-game main slate. James, there is an earlier slate. DraftKings and FanDuel both have it, but they've designated the 5-game, 7 p.m. slate as their main slate, so that's what we will be breaking down for today.
Yeah, and if you guys want any coverage on the early slate for you West Coasters drinking over to the DFS Alarm and Fantasy Alarm Discords, we will be in the chat. I'm sure us and Pete Cole. I mean, Pete Cole doesn't sleep. He just looks at statistics for DFS
he's on the playbook, so he's ready to go. He's rocking.
Yeah, probably already done with the playbook right now at 10:30 p.m. But yeah, make sure you head over there, and then we'll have all the daily content for this main slate. And by now you guys know main slate is what we cover. And it's a fun one. It's a 5-game slate. There's a lot of good pitching options, which is going to make it a little tricky for offenses. But I think that we're going to be able to navigate both and have another successful day heading into the weekend almost, John.
Yeah, a big Friday slate. So we got a nice little 5-game breather before we hit that. But like you said, some elite pitching here. Obviously, that's because it's topped by Jacob deGrom. $10,300 on DraftKings. You got the FanDuel price there, James. You say he's up over $12,000 over there?
Yeah, he is 12 flat.
12 flat. Well-deserved. He's made 3 starts since coming back. As you can see here, the numbers on the screen. Last 2 starts, 22 total strikeouts and just 11 2/3 innings. He allowed 2 earned runs. He did have a start against Atlanta. 5 2/3 innings, just 1 hit allowed. It was a homer. 12 strikeouts, though. You see the pitching count there, 76 pitches in each of the last 2 starts. They're still building him up. You got to think maybe he gets up to 85 pitches here. I doubt he goes over 90. But that's not scaring me off on a small slate like this. And he's even cheaper than he was the last start over on DraftKings. $10,600 now down to $10,300. On a 5-game slate, what do we think? 60, 70% rostership here on Jacob deGrom?
Yeah, in cash, he'll be like 90%. Honestly, he'll be like 80, 90% in cash, probably maybe just like 100% in cash games. It's going to be ridiculous. But yeah, it's in tournaments. He's still going to be super chalk. So it's a decision you're going to, have to live with if you want to fade him. I will not be, especially if I'm playing one lineup. We talked
about it. The strikeout rate for Atlanta is just like absolutely through the roof. Just overall in the year against right-handed pitching, 25% strikeout rate against right-handed pitching. They've been among the top teams all season long when it comes to high strikeout rate. So easy number to hit for deGrom here. Yeah,
I think he's is priced accordingly. He's the best pitcher in baseball. Just don't overthink it. I guess you can on FanDuel if you do want to pivot to someone like Shane McClanahan, who's 11,000 on FanDuel. Yu Darvish 10,600. But like even those prices, like man, $1,000, like deGrom can actually get you 70. We haven't seen that form from McClanahan lately.
Right.
The strikeouts have been concerning, as something you mentioned before we hopped on air. The hits have been concerning. It just doesn't look like the same guy. Maybe that's because the innings are wearing on him. And Darvish, we just saw against Washington, allow 2 home runs. It's not out of the realm of possibility that, Washington hits a couple more against him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I like the top tier of pitching, including Max Fried. But I like them how they're priced, and I don't think I'm overlooking deGrom in especially one pitcher formats.
Yeah, I think a lot of people will go to Grande McClanahan for sure. We mentioned the strikeouts of down for McClanahan after being gangbusters for most of the year. 4 strikeouts against Baltimore, just 3 strikeouts against Detroit, 4 strikeouts against Cleveland. The last 3 starts, not what you're looking for when you're paying over $10K for the guy. And it's been a while since he's hit that double-digit strikeout mark. I know that's a tough number to get to, but we're looking at. July 2nd was the last time he had double-digit strikeouts. So you're paying 9.7. I'd rather go the Darvish route. We've talked about it lately. Strikeouts for Washington have been on the rise since the trade deadline. He just faced them. 9 strikeouts in 6 innings. He did give up the 2 homers, only 4 earned runs allowed. But now we get him at home. We talk a lot about home road splits, and Yu Darvish at home, 2.17 ERA on the year, so a better pitching environment for Darvish against a weaker lineup, and you're saving a little bit of cash on McClanahan. I think for me, Darvish DeGrom is going to be the popular dual spend up.
I don't like. I think that we're gonna get a lot of ownership just in general on these top three guys. I would say it's going to be close between McClanahan and Darvish. I don't have a read at this time on who's going to be higher owned. But Darvish does have the better matchup overall. So I guess, you know what, I'll side with you on this one for sure.
If we have Fried coming back from the concussion at 85. Nathan Eovaldi at 7,700, I think, is a guy where we're getting a favorable-ish number because it is a smaller slate.
Yep.
Last start against New York, he was pretty strong. Only gave up the 2 earned runs on the home run. Against Kansas City, got knocked around a little bit there. Again, 2 home runs allowed, but did have 7 strikeouts. Shut out Houston over 6 1/3 innings through 6 innings against Cleveland. So he's giving you the work. He's throwing a high amount of pitches. And we know Pittsburgh, that's just a team that has struggled. Pivetta, 7 shutout against them 2 nights ago. Rich Hill, even tonight, had a pretty strong start. If you're looking in the mid-tier range, Fried, Eovaldi are certainly 2 guys to peek at. I don't really know about the rest of the group, though. What are your thoughts on them 2? And does a Montas against Toronto, a Berrios against New York, does anybody else kind of spark your interest here?
Definitely Eovaldi. Pittsburgh 26th in OPS against righties in the month of August. I don't necessarily hate Berrios against the Yankees. The Yankees, again, struggling offensively tonight. And in the month of August against righties, Yankees are 26th in OPS. They are 26th in WOBA, and they have a 25% K rate. Berrios has been...
Numbers aren't great, but he is also 6,700 for a reason. So
yeah, the numbers are not great, and it's just been up and down, up and down, up and down. But like there was like a 5-game stretch prior to this last 2 start stretch where he was really good. So just given how bad the Yankees have been, I'm willing to go there potentially.
Is this Montas' first start in Yankee Stadium?
Yeah. So I don't know how that's going to go. I mean, he was decent against Boston, but he didn't 78 pitches. I mean, we haven't seen the pitch count over 78. And apparently he's going to remain on a pitch count until the shoulder inflammation that bothered him before the Yankees dealt for him. So I don't really know what to make of it. Because if he's only going to throw 80 pitches, I mean, there's upside, but it's also the Blue Jays.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think you're going to go there if he's limited. So it feels like Eovaldi is maybe the cheapest confidence play at 77. What's his FanDuel price?
It is not cheap. He is $8,900.
Okay.
The lowest, so there is actually only one pitcher, John, below 8K on this slate, and it's Anibal Sanchez.
Anibal Sanchez, yeah.
He's $6,300. The only pitcher on FanDuel under that, like, you're spending up essentially. You're not paying 94 for Montas. You can pay 89 for Eovaldi. And 82 for Berrios, but like that's it. You're basically, they're forcing your hand. Like you're going up to DeGrom and building a bunch of cheapies. I mean, even Darvish 10-6, McClanahan 11K. Like it's tough building on FanDuel for Thursday.
It is. We'll go to catcher. If you're looking for some matchups here, now it's a small slate, so catcher gets pretty gross. There are some obviously bad pitchers on this slate that maybe you can go ahead and try to target. You could also just take the full punt approach if you want as well with catcher on a small slate and just find a 2K guy that finds his way into the lineup and sort of just save your salary there. I know you've been a big Jose Trevino guy. He's 2,900. If he finds his way into the lineup against Berrios, we've talked about the struggles that he's had. I think that could potentially be a nice little spend down spot for you there. Anybody else for you that you think is maybe worth a peek?
Shame we don't have Lingoliers tonight, John. You could hit another home run.
I saw you homered. Yeah, yeah. Because you're not obviously going against DeGrom, so you're not going to go there.
I mean, if you're not playing McClanahan and you buy into the struggles, I'm okay using Salvi against a lefty.
Sure.
Anyone else?
Kirk against Montas. If
Kirk
you're,
against Montas, sure.
McCann off Fried. If we talk about his 3 years ago lefty splits.
I would say although both Padres catchers are bad, at least they're bad right now.
Both Red Sox catchers are 2K. I mean,
both Red Sox catchers are 2K.
had an two-run single
RBI,
tonight.
Right? Yeah.
Reese McGuire's been in the lineup. A couple of hits the other day. Are they great options? No, but they're 2K options in an offense that's going to score runs. So,
how about So I don't know if officially Carlos Hernandez is starting. FanDuel does not have a Royals pitcher listed.
Sure.
But Francisco Mejia over 1,000 OPS over his last 10 games.
Yeah, I could get there at 3,300 on DraftKings.
Yeah, it's a pretty good price tag.
It is. He's obviously has some pop. He was much better against left-handed pitching, but Hernandez also has a 9 ERA on the year if he's going to be on the mound. So it doesn't seem like that matters much, truthfully. So.
No.
And we're on a small slate, so like beggars can't be choosers here. So
right.
We'll check. We'll check to see how the lineups come out there. First base, Vladdy's at $5,900 against Montas. They got Brandon Drury as first baseman at $5,600. First base only too, by the way, at $5,600. Pete Alonso against Fried at $53,000 and Anthony Rizzo at $5K. I don't mind the Rizzo play. I don't think at $5K. I know we've talked about the struggles of the Yankees and the struggles of Rizzo. Understandably, I get it. But power at home for Rizzo's been a thing all season long, and we know that Berrios is back to sucking. So
he has been so bad. Rizzo 5 for 16 off Jose Berrios, which is still a 313 average. 2 home runs.
Yeah.
So short porch and right. Berrios 289 average against lefties, 880 OPS, 378 WOBA. I mean, the Yankees are going to be. You're not like being sneaky, even though they've been bad. I think we're still going to see a very popular lineup.
Yeah, it's all about how can you get there, right? Like,
if you can get
especially
there.
on DraftKings where you're forced to play 2. Like, can you get to these Yankees playing DeGrom?
FanDuel too. Well, FanDuel too, because like you play 12K DeGrom, you actually only have $2,800 to build the rest of your lineup. That just feels like a general statement. Like, can you get to pick your player, or pick your Yankees because they're going to be expensive.
Yep. In the mid tier, I think Josh Bell at 47, also first base only. Yep. Thanks DraftKings for giving us 2 Padres with the same position to pick from there. 47, he works. Darren Ruff gets the Fried if you're going to lefty righty split. Can certainly consider that. And then G-Man, depending on who's pitching for Kansas City, Hosmer had a knock tonight. He's 3K against Brubaker. I think any of those guys are probably fine in play.
Yeah, we actually get the trifecta, John. Will Myers.
Yeah, Will Myers. Also at least he's got outfield eligibility. If they gave us 3 Padres at only first base, I'd be a little bit worried.
Yeah, that's probably it. I wouldn't necessarily hate you if you wanted to play Voit.
I was gonna say, we had been playing Vinny Paz, but we can't do lefty here. So
yeah, not gonna play the lefty. I mean, I would play lefty, but probably not against McClanahan. Not with McClanahan being the lefty.
Right. Yeah, Voigt's okay. I mean, you mentioned Darvish Gay with the home runs, and he only hits righties, so could certainly be the spot for him there. Anybody else for you?
No, I'm ready to go second.
Second base position, you got Lau at the top again. I guess there's some unsureness and who's pitching for Kansas City, but as long as it's not a lefty, I know the struggles for Brandon Lau, but we know the power's pretty legit there, so I'd be fine throwing him in a lineup just as a one-off play. Again, super expensive, so you got to figure out how you're going to get these guys in your lineup. Same for Cronenworth. I think he had a grand slam today, didn't he?
Yep.
So Cronenworth there against Anibal. Padres probably going to be a popular stack against Anibal Sanchez. Gleiber homered today, $4,200 for him. in the mid-tier range there. But again, with a smaller slate, the options here get a little bit low. Anybody for you that you have? We can't go back to our boy Grissom because he goes Scherzer to DeGrom back-to-back starts.
Yeah, it's tough. MLB.com, by the way, has Brad Keller listed.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Is Keller coming off an IL or?
I don't know.
And Brad Keller's 6K. Well, this was as of today. Mike Matheny said Wednesday Keller will move into the bullpen. So okay. MLB.com is incorrect. Keller's moving into the bullpen. Maybe that's why DraftKings has Hernandez as the starter.
Unlucky because Keller's allowed 8 earned in 2 of his last 3 starts.
Yeah, hasn't been good. So maybe they're just going bullpen game. So we'll see.
I don't have anyone else. I did mention Rodolfo Castro in the playbook today. He didn't do much. Christian Arroyo, 2K.
Oh, yeah. Christian Arroyo's been really good.
Second baseman. He he's been really good.
What do you have today? What was he? 3 for 4 tonight? 2 for 4 tonight? Something like that? Couple RBIs?
He had some knocks tonight. So
yeah, he's been good. Last 10 games, 351, 898. So good call. Christian Arroyo still $2,000 there. Probably your second baseman, right? If he's in the lineup, but you're looking for spend down options.
Yeah, I don't see much. I think Lausch. Cronenworth's going to be popular just given Anibal Sanchez. I think we could just say it, right? San Diego, number one most popular team on the board. Yeah,
San Diego. Gleiber probably gets a lot of love after the home run tonight against Barrios. But for 2K, we're looking for ways to fit in deGrom and Darvish or whomever in your lineup.
Right.
You need some 2K guys. So the way Arroyo's swinging right now, sure.
Oswaldo Cabrera too, by the way, did get called up. Has been bad tonight for the Yankees, but 2K top 5 prospect on their team.
Second base and shortstop eligibility for him, so not bad. They hit him 6th, huh?
6th, yep. They hit him 6th. And he's been bad, but 29 home runs and a bunch of stolen bases at double in AAA this year. So
sure. It's a big bat. Could come through against Barrios. Third base, again, loaded here. Machado. Devers, unfortunately, a guy that's been slumping. Maybe sort of got a little bit going with the double there in his last at-bat tonight. Could be a sign of things to come against Brubaker. Does Brubaker got splits here, lefties versus righties?
Brubaker splits. Let's look him up. Brubaker. Okay. So Brubaker is evenly bad against
all of
both sides. 336 WOBA for righties, 343 WOBA for lefties, 790 OPS. So a little worse against lefties, but everyone hits him the same.
Sure. So Machado, Devers, your top 2.
Yep.
Chapman against Montas is 49. I don't think we're going to Witt or Riley against deGrom and McClanahan.
Again, so I think I don't. If you're buying into the struggles of McClanahan not missing bats, sure. I could see the case for Kansas City, right?
Yep.
More than Riley against deGrom. I think that's just lineup suicide.
Right? Yeah. You're not playing it. If you're making a bunch of lineups, maybe you make one Atlanta team and just hope
just one.
Everything comes off deGrom, or he only goes 5 and then you get to the bullpen, because that's right. At least happening, right? deGrom isn't gonna, at least we think, throw a complete game here. So if he goes 5 innings, then you're banking on a second half team, but not a smart strategy usually. Yandy Diaz is 4K. If you wanted to take a peek at that, you certainly could. Where else do we like here? Batty is a lefty. Homer today, but we're not going to go lefty.
I don't think there's anything. I think the lowest is probably Yandy Diaz. Honestly, what's the purpose of even... You could play Rodolfo Castro at third if that's the punt you want to go with.
All the value guys are on the IL.
That's it. It's a sea of red. Look at your screen now, guys. It's just red.
Yeah,
it's just.
Who are you playing in this group? You're not playing anybody.
None.
Castro at 2,500. So it's probably Yandy as your punt. Otherwise, you're spending up. We usually spend up at third base anyways, but
Yep.
could be a little bit tougher to swallow there. Shortstop, Lindor homered tonight, gets lefty Fried. Bichette at 51. Again, not going to play Dansby against DeGrom.
Nope.
So that's your top guys. Xander at 43, though. I think you probably just take your chance there. I know.
He's been so bad.
He's been struggling, and he missed the other day. But I mean, 43, maybe Kim at 41. He had a good game today. Could go in that direction.
Yeah. I don't know. Another position I just like.
Abrams
don't
gets a return to San Diego.
That could be interesting.
2,400.
That could be interesting. There's just like not a lot of appeal. Again,
Well,
I think
5 games is tough.
No, I know, but like it's more just so the value tiers. I would take a shot in Oswaldo Cabrera again, shortstop eligible.
Shortstop eligible. Yeah.
I guess like Xander 43 is a good price. You're gonna see a lot of ownership, I think, settle in, split up, like literally probably like 30% Bichette, 30% Xander, 30% Kim, and then like 10% divvied up to the rest of the position because it's just not good. Like Kevin Newman's been decent, but he just like only hits lefties.
Right, and he only hits singles.
And he
So it's the other problem with him.
Touche.
We got Wander coming back soon. Removed from his rehab game. Nope, not coming.
That's
back.
Wonderful. That's such a good sign.
Anytime soon. All right, outfield. Soto's at 61. Judge is at 6K. Both of them obviously are very much in play. If you want to spend up there, if you can afford them, that's obviously the biggest question. Right. Blue Jays outfield against Montas. If he's only going to be limited, then you got to go deal with the Yankees bullpen. But both of those guys, $52 and $5,100. Marte homered twice today. Gets the lefty matchup against Fried at 49.
Yep.
Pham didn't have a great game for Boston. He's been hitting leadoff. We'll see if he's in the lineup or not as that sort of road trip or matchup against Pittsburgh comes to an end. You've been touting a Rosarena of late. I think we could certainly take that into consideration at 47. Where else are we looking here?
I pretty much like everyone you named. The Blue Jays for sure. I mean, Profar is going to be popular, 45. I know he's been struggling, but he's going to garner some ownership with Annabelle on the mound.
Too busy challenging runners to go to third. That's what he's doing.
Yeah.
Brian Reynolds homered tonight.
Brian Reynolds homered. First at bat. Pittsburgh stack was well on its way until it wasn't because they didn't score the rest of the game.
Big price bump for Dugo tonight. Only $100. He's up to $3K now.
Damn, I don't know what DraftKings is thinking, raising his price that much.
Yeah, seriously.
What are they doing?
What was he? Was he 3 for 3 tonight with like 2 walks and?
Yeah. 3 for 3, 2 doubles, right?
Yeah,
2 doubles,
hitting
a walk,
400 with an 1100 OPS over the last 10, and that's not counting tonight's game. So we're looking for value. So the secret's out for Verdugo for sure on this slate. He was only 10% rostered on Wednesday. 5-game slate, desperate for value.
Lock and load,
chalky Verdugo.
Yeah, yep. And I mean, he's an all format play. We've been saying cash, but like if he's gonna, don't expect the home run because that's not coming. But like,
right.
If you get a 3 for 3 with 2 doubles, like you're perfectly fine.
They hit him fourth tonight too, so like they bumped in the lineup, so he's like ready to rock.
Yeah, I like the Verdugo 3K. He's gonna be super chalk, but I'm gonna go back to on Harold Ramirez, John.
Okay.
As well, homered in his second game back from the IL and the games prior. I mean, including the games before his IL stint, he's hitting over 400.
Tampa Bay just has a billion of these guys who have no home run upside, even though he did homer tonight, but they hit 300 with like an 850 OPS because they hit doubles. So
look, I think Tampa, if depending on who Kansas City is starting, could be our sneaky snack stack. Yeah, that's what I'm just gonna include this. Like, just include the snack part.
Yeah, we'll have the home run call later, but we'll get your snack call later as well.
The sneaky snack stack of the night.
Yeah,
could be Tampa, because you mentioned like they just have these like cheap guys. Like they even went out and got another one, David Peralta. Like doesn't hit home runs, 21 doubles
the
on
only
the year.
guy like up over 4K on their roster. Basically,
Yeah.
so.
And Rosarena. They're like literally the only two expensive guys. But I really think Tampa is, and it's probably not sneaky just considering who's potentially pitching
on
for
the slate?
Kansas City, but that's a way to not use like a crappy offense like Pittsburgh,
like the Texas Rangers
or the Texas Rangers,
right?
And still get the deGroms and the Darvishes and the McClanahans of the world. So
because like it's a 5-game slate, but you can't use Atlanta. So
you can't. Yeah, it's you're using 9. Like you're picking from 9 offenses. You because Atlanta's cut out, and you don't want to use like Pittsburgh. So it's really just like 8. Like we're really like the pool is very small. So I think Tampa's a really good cheap stack on this slate.
Yeah, I agree with you. I know Benintendi's been awful. But 39.
No.
3,900. No. Kike Hernandez hit 9th tonight. He's been a little bit slow coming back. He did have a hit and an RBI, I think, today. So $3,900 for him. If Pham sits, Kike was the leadoff hitter. So, if there's he's also just coming back. So there's a good chance that he's the one who sits out as well. So just be on the lookout, I guess, for how they use that rotation. We've talked about Darren Ruff. Mark Canha is a guy that does hit lefties generally. So I know we don't love going up against Fried. We've talked about the lack of home runs allowed by Fried. $3,400 for Canha. The Mets are probably going to go low roster because people don't want to go up against a good pitcher. So, there could be maybe some opportunities there. Anybody else for you though? Like
Grisham 33. He's been nothing but power. That's it. Grisham, all he does is hit home runs.
Yeah. See, so you talked about Will Myers at first base. He's also outfield eligible at 26.
Would you play Duran if he made the lineup? I mean, he's gonna hit 9th if he does.
Yeah, maybe. He's got speed, right?
Yeah.
So there's not that he doesn't use it as much as he should, but maybe.
He also has a good matchup. Like that. I mean, Brubaker is.
Yeah, I mean, before the tough series against the Yankees, he had a good run there. So.
Estevan Florial also got called up for the Yanks today, former top 100 prospect, and he's just like they like did this kid so wrong earlier in the year. They like had him up in May and they just like didn't play him. He just sat on the bench. You just can't get in a rhythm like that.
Sure.
He was pinch hit for tonight, so like you have to keep that in mind that that's potential if he cracks the lineup. But I do think, there's ways to get Yankee stacks, and Florial is that guy. Again, top 100 prospect, has a bunch of speed, has a little pop. So if, that's a route that you want to take a look at, I really don't think it's all that bad.
Sure. He was hitting 300 over his last 12 games of AAA, according to this little DraftKings note there. So, could be a guy. Again, 5-game slate. We'll wait till rosters are out. Really be able to make some of those decisions on value guys. I think we've identified a view value. It seems like Boston has the value, right? Verdugo and Arroyo.
Sure.
Two of the better value potential plays there to help you spend up and get guys like Judge. We like the Padres as a stack. We like the Yankees as a stack.
Padres are going to be chalk for sure. I think if you were to take a guess on like the teams in terms of ownership, what would you say? Boston or San Diego, Boston, Yankees probably, right?
Probably.
That's probably like, and then so I think Tampa Bay. I think they're the. Last night we said it.
Right, you need value. So, like, they're going to be, unless you go the Boston value in the lineup, Verdugo, Arroyo, Devers, or something like that.
Well, Boston isn't expensive. I mean, they're not really that expensive.
No, Devers
outside of Devers.
Devers is the only one. Yeah. Xander's 43, JD's 4K.
Like, people might use Boston as their value,
So that makes Tampa Bay as your pivot. Obviously, less power upside. But,
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what happens there. All right, give me your home run call.
I mean, I'm staying here. I'm staying with Tampa. I'm going to go Randy Arozarena.
Arozarena for your home run call.
Don't even know who Casey's pitching. Don't even care.
Don't even care. I'm gonna go Aaron Judge. Yeah, I know. I'm reaching. I'm reaching with the
I
Aaron Judge
mean,
stuff.
you are. I mean, he hasn't hit many this
Yeah,
year,
he
so
hasn't hit
you
many.
you'd have to get pretty lucky there.
Barrios just hasn't been good in this Yankee Stadium. So,
No, he hasn't. I mean, he just hasn't. You could have just stopped that. He hasn't been good.
all right.
Um,
If you go deGrom, Judge, and Eovaldi, you got $3,700 per position. You go deGrom, Judge, Darvish, you got $3,500 per position. So, is it good? Nope. But we've identified some value for you to get in your lineup to help you out there. That wraps it up. If you have any questions, get us in the Discord. It is the premium subscriber Discord. If you're not yet a subscriber, you can go to fantasy.com, click on the pricing page, get in the All Access Pro package. If you go monthly, right now we have a promo code NFL50, which will save you 50% off the first 6 months, which basically means from now through the NFL season, you're paying about $19.99 a month. Get into the Discord for football, for baseball, for basketball, which James and I cover, which we'll certainly be doing these for the NBA season as well. So all sports, $19.99 a month, using promo code NFL50 for the first 6 months that you've signed up for, and that gets you access into the premium Discord where myself and James Grande and Pete Cole and Dan Malin and Howard Bender and Justin Vreeland and Ray Kuhn and on and on, Colby Conway, on and on, Matt Sells. We're in there answering your questions, your lineup questions, getting you guys ready to dominate each slate. But with that said, we'll catch you guys later.